For my cultural artifact, I chose a book, and my culture is reading. Now I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, why a book of all things? Well, I can say with all honesty that reading saved my life. I've been dealing with health issues for a big portion of my life, and as a result, I've been isolated for most of my life. Reading books helped me lift my character so that I didn't feel like I was here all the time, stuck, kept me sane. Now I'm going to explain how reading helped me get through the darkest and hardest times in my life. When I first started getting sick, I had no idea what was going on. It took a while to even be diagnosed. Nobody knew what could possibly be affecting me. As that was going on, I started getting weaker and sicker, and I just had no energy left. All the trips and road trips I used to go on before, I couldn't go on them anymore. I just didn't have the energy. I started just resting and sleeping, and that was about it. As a result, I was just stuck. I felt horrible. I started reading, and all of a sudden, I felt like I could escape. I could escape and go to these adventures and to these far off lands, and I was not here, stuck. I felt like I was escaping, and I was able to forget all the issues I was dealing with. I felt like I was living again. It was really, really nice. Because I was sick and weak for such a long time, mentally I started not being in a good place. I was depressed and I was a recluse. I felt useless. What was the point of my life? Nobody knew what was going on with me, what I was feeling, and it got to a point where it got to be a lot for a lot of people. They just didn't want to deal by that point. At that point, books pretty much became like my friends. Books helped me. I finally started being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. If these characters that I was reading about could go on these adventures that seemed impossible and somehow make it through, or were able to live at the end, I felt like maybe I could too. Maybe I just needed to wait and hope for the best and keep fighting. And through doing that, I started being able to see that maybe there really was a way through all of this that I was dealing with. So slowly but surely, I started becoming less and less depressed and less sad. Once, while I was sick, and then once I started getting better, books started bringing me happiness, and then I started learning again. I started wanting to learn again. Time was going by faster. I didn't feel as if everything was just slow motion anymore. Time just started speeding by. I was happy. I was laughing. I was smiling. Books just brought me a lot of happiness at that point when I didn't have almost anything else. Time spent in waiting rooms, in hospitals, at home in bed, finally started being bearable. And then I started learning. I started learning anything I could about making myself better. I started taking better care of myself, both dietary and physically, with exercise. I started to figure out what I would need for the transplant process and what the aftercare would be. And then I felt like I was finally getting somewhere. But at the end of all this, how exactly did books and reading save my life? Well, I'm not gonna lie, before I started reading and really immersing myself in reading culture, I was very, very, very depressed. There was a point where I thought everybody would be better off without me. I was pretty suicidal for a while there. It was that point where I was existing. I wasn't living. I just didn't like my life anymore. Books helped me by helping me escape the situation I was in. They helped me learn so that I could feel like there was more out there. I was happy again. I was spending more time with my family. I wasn't isolating myself. And then they helped me cope with the depression that I had been feeling for such a long time. Physically and mentally, I started doing better. And then I figured out if there's a will, there's a way. You just have to go out there and find it.